This is one of those video moments from the wise old curmudgeon, I guess. But I was inspired to make this video by real life events. The names will remain anonymous, but the situations are universal. So I had a conversation with a person very dear to me about the fact that they don't have time in their life to do things or go places or to do things. And we like to share each other's company. But and we are very close. But like a lot of people who are going places, she knows she's besieged by her time management because they don't have time. She's a hard working black woman working hard on her stuff and accomplishing things, doing well. Okay, so I get that. Okay, and so even though she wants to always hang out, it's always changing and stuff. And I'm like, you just don't really want to do it. She's like, well, Mario, I have off to do all this stuff. I have this career, and then I'm trying to do this work and do these extra work assignments and make a movie and do all these things. And I said, you're talking to a physician. I went to medical school. I want you to understand that. So, uh, just to give you an example of the issues I had with time management, I said, those 3-inch binders that they have that are this wide on the end? Yeah, I had like 14 of those in the first semester to study for the finals. So I went to a concert with George Benson at the Roxy, the famous concert that he did Weekend in LA. I went there with notes and studied while having a drink and waiting for that show. I know about doing these things. I was a nut too. I fell asleep in the bathtub with a textbook and woke up with my textbook. I know about time management. And I used to give a talk to the medical students. They would ask me to do certain talks to schools. I did some for UCLA, some for SC. So they would ask me to talk to the medical students about life issues and lifestyle things. For some reason, I had become, well, I know exactly the reasons. Because some of my colleagues knew me as that. And since they were all involved as faculty, they were like, oh, we got to get Mario to talk. We got to get Mario to talk about this. Alternative lifestyles for the physician. That was the one UCLA used to have me do all the time. But anyway, so I told this friend of mine, I said, I used to give a talk to the medical students about lifestyle and time management. Usually it was at the banquet. They would have these end of the summer program banquets, and they would say, oh, Mario, we want you to come and speak at the end of the year banquet. So I would be trying to think of what to talk to them about. And so I thought about the issues that had affected me and my father, who was a physician. And it was my father who spoke to me about these things. He spoke to me about these things. And then I, as a part of that, had developed the talk that I would give to the medical students. So I told her, I said, I could tell you what I told them. First things first. Let's get first things first. Managing your personal commitments and your career is a problem that you will have the rest of your life. I will say it again. Managing your personal life with your career is a problem you're going to have the rest of your life. So you need to approach it like a problem you will have the rest of your life. Whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant, it'll be your parents or other relatives, your sister, brother, your friends, your children. Some of them are going to be rather unforgiving about the ways that you manage your time. In other words, your significance, your children will grow weary of your reasons for working so hard, even if that same work ethic is what is providing in total for the lifestyle they're experiencing. Understand that. So while you're working your ass off, you think to provide for them, they're going to be resentful of the fact that you don't have time for them. This is a universal problem. Universal. So the first thing I would always tell the students, get used to it. You're going to have this problem the rest of your life. At the banquets, I would tell them, I said, a bunch of you sitting here with your parents, they're looking at you right now smiling. Because as you get older, you know this to be true. So, I will say this, because this is a universal problem. We all are confronted with this. I had this problem my whole career. Just that my father had warned me. So you're going to have it your whole life too. All successful people do. Yeah, all of them, male, female, whatever. This is the problem. Universal. It's like adolescence. We all have to deal with this shit. Okay, so get used to that. That's see, part of the issue is acceptance of the issue of being a lifelong thing. It's going to help you. That's the first thing. So it's the wake up call. So let me say this because it's going to boil down to how you manage that time and intent. I would say you're going to have to schedule, just like you schedule your social media and your postings and your this and your calls. You're going to have to schedule the ways you reach out to loved ones. Some of you already do it for what you consider the most ones, like you call your parents or you call your sister or maybe you call your loved one, but you neglect your family. So all of you are doing something like this, but you're going to have to schedule and then keep objective track of the efforts you make at your relationships. So that way you'll know, gee, you know what? I just realized I haven't said I love you or sent a loving text message today. You know, I have to schedule those things just like I have to schedule everything else. And that way you'll know how often you do it. You'll say, wow, once a day may not be enough. Once a day, a 30-second communication may not be enough to sustain my relationship. Yeah. This is going to help you think of these things. And then as you adjust, you're going to thank me. Start scheduling because get the right attitude. Recognize that neglecting one's loved ones is a problem all over. Don't do it. Schedule the time to make them feel important. Make it their time. You're going to have to schedule it and then objectively look at how much. Add it up. In other words, yeah, I know you've got 5 times a week, whatever. Add up the time. So at least you can know the real data. I see, what I'm trying to do is get your eyes open. You at least watch what you are doing. I'm Mauro Hensley, the old man, making time for relationships.